Zealand, and Drew Thomas out of Monroe, North Carolina, with Alvin Hill from Visalia, California. Here we go, 250B Limited underway. Who is it with that Stacy Cole shot? Was that the number 57 machine? Not sure if he held on. I think it was the number 67 possibly. That was Blake Gardner on his KTM. And then all of a sudden into the front went Shane Haywood out of Diamond Springs, California. There it is, the number 67. Mikey's right. His eyes, I believe, just a little better than mine. So that is the 67 Blake Gardner out of Canyon Country, California. And look at that pack coming through the 10 Commandments. Holy cow, 5 wide through the Commandments. Better not break one of those rules, I can promise you. Back into that right-hander. Here we go, and an early lead for the number 67 machine. Wow, starting to open things up just a bit. That's the number 24 back behind him in the number 2 position. That's going to be Brock Walker out of Joshua, Texas on his Kawasaki.
Hey, real fast, we got a lost phone down at the MX Sports office. Rhonda Ducato, if you are missing your phone, head on down to the MX Sports office. We'll get you hooked up with your cellular phone. Back to it.
All right, here we go, making their way into the sand section, back around into the midfield. Here we go with our early leader, Blake Gardner. Comes down into the Polysport Beach turn, tries to open that gap into a couple seconds. Not having it is the number 24, Brock Walker. Down into the Bermuda Triangle come the leaders. Here we go to complete lap number 1.
By the way, given that hole shot, that Stasic hole shot to the number 11 Yamaha of Crockett Myers, Blake Gardner, your leader out in front, the 6'7". He did not let Crockett Myers hang on to that very long. Brock Walker in the 2 spot, Enzo Timmerman in 3rd, Keegan Rowley 4th, and Slade Varola rounding out the top 5. And Donde Esta Crockett Myers, P14.
Yeah, I'm going to guess Myers fell over after that whole shot or got shoved off track something. Myers now sitting in that number 14 position, and very unusual for Crockett Myers, especially a half a lap in after a hole shot.
No doubt about that. So Blake Gardner out in front on that number 67 KTM, and the 24 you can see on screen just behind him there. And Enzo not far off that pace, so pair of Kawasaki riders and KTM out front.
So race number 9 on your schedule, 250B. Coming up next, race 10. That's your 65cc 10 to 11. And you know what? Looking forward to that 65 10 to 11. We're going to talk about that here in just a few minutes. And right now, all about our 250B Limited. Blake Gardner out front on his number 67 KTM, starting to open that gap up ever so slightly. The number 24, Brock Walker, giving up some space here on lap number 2. Starting to really see these guys choose some alternate lines, Mikey. The good lines are starting to get used up right now. Really starting to get some chatter going into these ruts. Starting to see a hook on the end of them. Potholes in the middle of them, some craters in the middle of these ruts, and it really affects that line choice. Sometimes lap to lap. Now, berms tend to hold up a little better down here at the ranch. You get, half a moto or so out of it, a few laps out of it, but constantly changing, and these guys really adapting to some new lines that we really haven't seen much of here this morning. These guys using some center lines, but now really starting to search those outside edges, looking for that smooth stuff, going out into the green, going out into the what we call the fringe, and trying to find the smoothest lines. Small mistake by Gardner that time around. Had a little bit of a bobble there. Whoa, drags the foot off the back of the peg right there, almost into the rear wheel. And just that small mistake, look at this, allows the number 24,
Brock Walker,
and that's Enzo Timmerman on the 21. Wow, Timmerman does the same thing Gardner did. Those ruts are getting so deep, even when you lift your foot, they're still getting caught in the bottom of some of those ruts. So
looks like
2 laps in.
Looks like me on my street bike dragging a foot peg and then going, okay, maybe it's time for a break for old Mikey Waynes on the street bike. Road bike. It's not a crotch rocket either, okay? So I like to go slow and easy.
Wow, and look at the difference in the soil right now, Mike. You see the shade sections back there, still pretty dark, still has some moisture in it from that early watering. And, man, as you get into the front sections of the track, you see things really start to lighten up where they've been sun-baked here this morning. And that is the number, let's see, 21, Enzo Timmerman, still in that number 3 position we're looking at on our monitor right now. And he basically riding in no man's land. Doesn't look like he has a battle behind him anywhere, and he's trying to race forward. He needs to get up there and get on the rear fender of Brock Walker.
Hey, our Stasic Hole Shot Award winner, Crockett Myers, again was back, way back outside of the top 10. Was clicked off a pretty good lap there in lap 2, picking up some time. Ran a 2:03. That's 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds faster than the guys in front of him. It's got him up into the number 9 position. So Crockett Myers, after the great start and then I guess the bad first lap, kind of rebounding here in lap 2. See if he can't click off a few more positions here the next few laps.
Absolutely. Needs to put together some good laps right now. Has to be consistent. We say the word consistent. We say the word survival. We talk about a guy who survives year to year. We're going to welcome Kevin Kelly into the booth, one of the original contestants on Survivor, and able to hang it in 30 minutes plus 2 week after week. He did, what'd you do, like 37 hours straight at the fire station over the last couple days, then you got in, did a 4-hour drive, so you're working 48 hours with no sleep here?
No, we get to sleep. But I got up 3 times last night for a bunch of nonsense, so.
Prostate problem.
Yeah, don't call us unless you really need us. Let me just put it to you that way. All these emergencies, and I'm using air quotes, man.
Air quotes.
They're not. Nobody. I didn't run a single emergency yesterday. I ran 9 calls, all of it BS. I'm a little disgruntled, as you can see.
No calls of life?
Oh, Lord, no. No, I mean, we do it, but they were not necessary yesterday.
Lord, no.
All right, well, he needed jaws of life to get him out of bed. So pumped to see our man Kevin Kelly.
Kevin Kelly fresh out of saving buttons from the tree last night. Little kitty cat.
No doubt. Shows up here right at the crack of 12:30. Him and Rodney Tomlin are going to bring it to you here in just a moment. And got a special treat coming up here just about 1 o'clock. Zach Osborne going to do a lap for us real quick on that Road to Recovery Husqvarna. It's going to be signed by him as well. It's an FC 450. All proceeds go to Racers for Waverly, of course, and Road to Recovery booth is where you can buy those tickets, $10 a piece. And I got to tell you, what a great way for you guys to give back to the community. Great opportunity to win a fantastic prize for only $10. So you know what? Go lay down a 50, go lay down 100, get yourself 5 or 10 chances, and what a great way to help out the community of Waverly and maybe, win a bike for yourself.
Hey, real quick, Enzo Timmerman moves up into the 2 spot. You still have the battle happening right there on Racer TV. Brock Walker drops to the 3 position. So Enzo Timmerman working the track, able to get around him. And now, look at that, Timmerman setting his sights. They have reeled in Blake Gardner. Might just have ourselves a little 3-way battle here in a minute. Enzo about a second and a half back when he checked in last time, and forget about it. Here we go, side by side. Timmerman, getting around some lap traffic. Got to keep your head on a swivel. So Timmerman ends up checking up just a little bit, and Blake Gardner able to put that gap back on him, but I don't know if it's going to last much longer.
All right, down to 8 minutes, Mikey. Oh, I'm sorry, down to about 11 minutes. So 8 minutes into this one, down to just about 11. Enzo Timmerman, now he's turning a 2:00 up there in that number 2 position on the 21 Kawasaki. He is blazing fast right now. Blake Gardner had the fast lap of the race, a 1:59.9. That was on lap number 2. But guess what? Lap number 2 was a long time ago. Enzo Timmerman
History.
Said, it's lap number 5 we're worried about, and I'm going to be the fastest guy on that lap. Just about 4 seconds quicker last time around than Gardner.
This is racing, man. It's all about what have you done for me lately.
Hey, we talked about Road to Recovery just a moment ago. Here's a very important program I'm going to let you guys in on. Today, just about 4:30, you guys can join Road to Recovery and Mr. Cotter, Tim Cotter, at the Monster Energy Arena for a mental health pro panel. This will be an amazing discussion on mental health and the role it played during and after their professional careers. We've got about 6 or more professional racers that are going to be in an open discussion, and that's going to include Justin Bogle, Ryan Hughes, Heath Harrison, Caden Braswell, Ryan Sipes, and more. The list will be announced, but that's coming up at 4:30, and a very, very beneficial workshop there this afternoon, our Road to Recovery Mental Health Pro Panel.
Good battle on screen going right now. Blake Gardner trying to hold off Enzo Timmerman. And Timmerman finally able to make the pass, get around him, trying to make it stick right there, and he does. So Gardner in that number 2 spot on that KTM on your screen right now. So the 21 Kawasaki, your new leader. How far back is Brock Walker? He's fallen off that pace just a little bit, about 2.5 seconds back. And by the way, Crockett Myers still clicking them off. 5 laps into it now, picks up a couple more positions. But Crockett Myers, I think, exerting some energy out there. He's right on par with the guys around him, running about a 2:05. Sits about a 1.5 seconds back from Jordan Bees. We'll see what he's got for him here in lap 6. Slade Verola in the 4 spot. Jordan Bees, that rider on the gas, the number 7. Rounding out the top 5, and Crockett Myers, the rider just outside of the top 5.
Well, Mikey Waynes, I got to tell you, we kicked it off with a bang with our Vet Plus 30. 450B come out and slapped us in the face. That was a great one. 125C, well, they knocked the taste out of our mouth.
Yeah.
That thing was fantastic. Then all of a sudden, those 85 riders come out. We see 5 lead changes in 3 laps with those guys. Absolutely incredible. And that's what we expect here at the ranch. Looking at race number 9 right now, 250B Limited coming up. Race number 10, our 65 10-11 Limited. So 8 minutes left in this one, and man, it's going to get rougher than a night in jail out there, Mikey. Take a look at the beach. Take a look at these whoops as they lead into the 10 Commandments over there.
Yeah.
So take a good look at these track conditions. Going to do a little track prep here a little later in the program. That's going to be right after our 65. So intermission is going to come up, and that's going to be when we're going to have a special treat. Zach Osborne's going to be on that Road to Recovery giveaway Husqvarna, that raffle Husqvarna. He's going to do a couple laps on it, going to sign that machine. Again, you can work your way over to Road to Recovery, buy raffle tickets, $10 a piece. A great way for you to give back, and an easy way to give back. Mikey, they do all the work.
You're right.
Come
Absolutely.
by, drop a 50, drop 100, whatever. You did your part. Lori and the team down there, they're going to take care of the rest. They're going to make sure your money gets spent on food, medical supplies, housing, shelter, clothing for all these folks in Waverly. They're still recovering. Yes, a lot of progress has been made, but there's a lot of work to still be done. And, you know, it's the outpouring from our community, our Moto family, that's helped make that possible, and they're counting on us to help get the job done.
Yeah, kudos. Can't say enough good things about Road to Recovery. It's like the greatest thing in sports you hope you never have to utilize, you know. It's exactly what it is, but man,
Absolutely.
are we grateful and thankful to have them.
And, you know, we talk about Lori. Lori's one of the busiest ladies in the industry. She multitasks like no other. She's everywhere from amateur motocross, pro motocross, bagger racing league.
Yeah.
You name it. She is everywhere with the Road to Recovery. And that organization itself is an unbelievable blessing to our sport and our athletes. For those of you that don't know about Road to Recovery, you need to look it up and see what it does for our injured athletes, our athletes in need. An absolutely amazing, amazing organization. And knowing that Lori is in charge down there, that's just a comforting fact, because, again, one of the hardest working ladies in the industry, running one of the most influential programs out there, Road to Recovery.
Amen. Amen. Doing work on the track right now, Enzo, the 21 Kawasaki out in front. How about it turns his lap time a 1:59.864. So he cracks into the sub 2 minute category. There he goes. 7 laps finished now. Slowing up a little bit, but not a lot of it. Still in control. Turns a 2:02. Blake Gardner in the 2 spot, back about 8 seconds now. So again, Enzo just needs to ride smart, stay in his own helmet, and keep it rubber side down. Brock Walker in the number 3 spot. Slade Verola not checked in just yet, but the number 45 Yamaha sits 4th. There he is. Jordan Bees rounding out your top 5 aboard that number 7 Gas ride. And Crockett Myers still trying to catch up and crack into the top 5. Just might get it here on lap number 8, as he's only about a second off the pace of Jordan Bees in the 5 spot.
Mikey, I got to tell you, dude, you're on a run there. Sounded fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
And I got to tell you, when we take a look at this, 5 minutes to go in this thing. Enzo Timmerman, 7.9 seconds, as you mentioned, over Blake Gardner right now. And look at Brock Walker. He's only another 2 seconds back. So things are really heating up there, as you mentioned just a moment ago. Something's going to go down here in these last 5 minutes. And there is no shortage of competition between Bees and Crockett Myers as well.
That's right.
You know, we made mention the other day when I was talking about the transition into bigger bikes and how bigger bikes sometimes suit other riders more than they do, you know, and you see big changes. And, you know, watching these riders grow up and seeing them now here in this 250B limited class, I think is as evident as ever. You still have a lot of the cream of the crop to the top, but it's a lot of mix-up, you know, riders that you're used to seeing up there battling from start to finish, like Bees and Myers and Adams and a few of those guys, you know, still having some struggles. But again, this is first moto at Loretta, so you really can't judge a lot of that until second gate drops. I mean, you get an idea of what you're looking at, but to really know what's going on in this class, the second motos is when you really get the tail of the tape.
Enzo Timmerman 8 laps into it now. Blake Gardner checks in P2. That gap now about 11.5 seconds between P1 and P2. Brock Walker should be checking in here in the number 3 spot. And Brock Walker, boy, he had some breathing room, has some breathing room between him and Slade Varola. Man, everybody, this is about the first class we've seen, this 250B, where you got riders kind of all out there by their lonesome out front. They got those little islands they're on, if you will. And Crockett Myers, though, hey, he's cracked into the top 5, gotten around Jordan Bees, so Bees drops to the 6th position, and Myers now, Bees got to be all over that rear wheel. Slade Varola.
Time continues to roll, Mikey. 2-lap card should be coming out this time around for our leader. Shows about 3 minutes to go. And again, Timmerman last time around about 9 seconds. Now 11.4 out front is the gap.
So Enzo Timmerman continuing with Blake Gardner back at 11.5 seconds. The gaps, I tell you here toward the end of the moto, do not tell the tale of the battle that led us to this particular point. Is Brock Walker holding on to the number 3 spot. Slade Varola, as they said, in 4th and in 5th. Crockett Myers. Myers, though, looking to make that pass, as they said, on the 45
All right,
machine.
should be picking up the white flag here in just a moment.
So Timmerman taking the white flag.
Hey, listen, Rodney, when I mess up like that, I got to recover somehow, and I'm going to blame it on you.
Hey,
okay?
you know, and the beauty of it is I've got broad enough shoulders, I can carry that weight.
Yeah, shame on me for taking the earpiece out. Didn't mean to walk on you there. I thought you were talking to legs there. So.
Actually, it was at a natural pulse anyway, so it wasn't a big deal.
He's used to carrying the whole announcer's tower anyway. That's why he's got those broad shoulders.
We're not heavy.
Right?
We're his brothers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, so looking at these results, so one thing that stands out to me is the number 33, Drew Adams, has just held tight in 8th spot. You guys were talking about bike setup. Like, I don't know what's going on, but that's not a Drew Adams moto right there. That dude should be leading. I've seen you beat every one of these guys all year long.
Yep.
You got to take into consideration too. I mean, what was the early part of the race? Did he get that 8th place start?
He's been in that spot for 5 laps.
Well, what's happened is he's probably got that bad start. He's worked his way up, and he really exerted a lot of energy to get to where he's at. So we may
I don't know. That's no.
Nice
Drew
try,
Adams.
Rodney.
I appreciate you being positive, but I watched Crockett Myers shoot all the way to 4th, went buzzing right by him.
Right.
That's just and Crockett's a great rider. Don't get
no excuses then, right?
Yeah, no, and I'm sure Drew will tell you that. He's got red hair. He does not accept 8th place. No redhead would ever accept 8th place. Not happening. Hey, man, this race is almost over, Megawatt. We've almost hit the 20-minute mark here. So
absolutely.
Enzo Timmerman on his way, 12 seconds out front, the Team Green Speedster, earning his spot there. Ryan Holiday picked him out. Checker flag is out.
Checker flag, yep. This one comes to an end right now, and interesting observation. Kevin, man, glad you're here, dude. Popped up, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
I wouldn't, obviously I would not miss this race. I have not missed this race since we started announcing it, what, 04, 05? Haven't
Been a
looked
regular,
back.
bro. Yeah, you got 20 years in this thing just about.
I was here way before that, too, like Rodney. I was out here.
Exactly. I was here in 82 with a kid named Phil Amos, but didn't pick up a mic till 20 years after that.
Right. Well, here you are in the good hot spot
man.
here. Got
For
the new
sure.
bump out, the new slide out here we installed here.
Oh, yeah,
like
we
the slide
talked
out.
about that last year,
Yep.
didn't we? Absolutely.
We need the room. So
said the
checker
slide
flag
out.
is out, and they're saying Trevin Nelson now. I'm going to go no on that. A 4-second lap time. We're going to go with Enzo Timmerman is going to bang out a Moto win, and he will bring this thing all the way to the Team Green rig, and he is going to be psyched to high-five his boss man, Ryan Holiday. Unfortunately, he does have to chat with Jason Wygant. That's one of the bummer parts here. If you do win, you do have to speak with Jason Wygant. And they might be ready down there. They might be getting ready. There's the bike. The 21 sits atop the stand, and those guys get cooled off. If you guys have been under that tent, Rodney, you know how hot it is. It is a scorcher. Those guys come in. They look like they've ran a marathon in the Sahara, so they try to get as hydrated as they can. And unless it's Mike Brown, I was listening on the way up. That guy, he could have taken the SATs right there or whatever, debated someone. The guy's an animal.
Yeah, it's like he just got off the stationary bike. You know, it's like he was warming up for the Moto. Yeah, it's like before the start.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Yeah, it was pretty tough out there, man.
I did. Rode up there. I did.
was able
6
to hold
hours.
that
I've been on my
position there,
bike.
man. And, you know, I just went ahead, instead of bringing a truck, I went ahead and rode down.
I rode the bike here. I rode a 10-speed with my bike on my back.
Man, you know, love that guy. One of the best influences on the younger generation. You know, you talk about role models. It's Mike Brown.
100%.
You know, without question.
50-year-old Mike Brown.
Yes.
Those poor suckers in that 50 class.
Oh,
Bless their hearts. Bless your hearts. He's an animal. Jason Wygant down there trying to sort out the colors. He's nearly blind. The gold medal looks the same as the bronze at this point in this old man's career.
No, I did. I actually handed out a gold and a bronze, and I got them mixed up just 2 classes ago. So it 100% happens.
Absolutely.
Yep, and the atmosphere here has completely changed as Kevin Kelly has arrived at the ranch. Hope you folks enjoyed yourselves until now.
It's over.
It's all over, man.
over.
You made it to lunchtime on the very first day of racing and bringing this place down.
5 minutes in, the whole vibe dropped.
Let's get Enzo Timmerman on up here. That was a dominant Moto victory, pretty solid gap, and he's just getting the jersey back on, getting the podium gogs dialed. And this is a big breakthrough because B-Class is often where you see riders really establish themselves at a much higher level than ever before. Now, Timmerman was fast on a mini-cycle, but to do it on the 250F, that certainly is a statement. And he did it with a pretty big margin. Let's hear it for the Kawasaki Team Green rider, Enzo Timmerman. How'd you do it, man? That was a solid performance. How'd you feel?
Yeah, I got a good start. I was like third the first lap, I think, and then just kind of paced behind those guys, and when I had an opportunity to pass them, I passed them, and then I was able to just manage the rest of the race from there.
Awesome. What kind of work you been putting in?
A lot.
I'd imagine. Who do you want to thank?
The whole Team Green, Kawasaki crew, Ryan Holiday, Fox, Dunlop, Rental, my mom, my dad, my mechanic rider, my trainer Garrett, and everybody else, thank you.
Enzo Timmerman taking the gold. And second place is also our whole shot winner, so I got to go over there and grab that. We'll bring our second place finisher on up. Looking for Gardner, also Brock Walker, who finished third, if you want to head on over. Here we go. Second place, Also grabbing the Stasek Hole Shot Award. Let's hear it for Blake Gardner. Hold that thing up. Be proud of that silver. And I'll give you this one too. That's a heck of a haul right there. In one of the toughest classes out here these days, we know that B has become one of the tougher ones to win or podium or hole shot. First of all, that start, how'd you pull it?
Well, my mechanic, Troy, he packed the gate pretty well, and that Scorpion rear hooked up real good.
All right, how'd the rest of the moto go?
It was pretty good. I had a good lead for a little bit, and then got a little tired, tried to make sure I didn't crash, and yeah.
Hold on, who do you want to thank, Blake?
I want to thank my mom, dad, my mechanic, Troy, FXR, Clover Hill, X-Brand goggles. I'm not very good at this. Raynard Training Complex, Robbie Raynard, practicing starts a lot, and everyone else, thank you.
There it is. Let's hear it. Blake Gardner with your hole shot award and your silver. He'll get used to these podiums. Oh, yeah. And we got Brock Walker to take the bronze. Let's bring him up. Wow, these kids grow up fast. I'll tell you what. Give me a couple of years, they're totally different. It's a grown young man here. Let's hear it for Brock Walker. How was that moto?
Oh, it was great. I came out to a great start. I think I came out second, which was awesome. I never do that. And then I was just trying to stay behind him as long as I could until the end, and then got passed by Enzo, and then I just made a small mistake going down the corner. I was able to get up and maintain third, so it was a good moto.
All right, who do you want to thank?
I like to thank my mom, my dad, my grandpa, my uncle, my whole family, my girlfriend. 152 crew, Sean Hackley for getting me up here, Kelly and the Smith family, O'Neill, 60, Scott, Altus Motorsports, and just whoever else I forgot. Thank you.
Brock Walker taking third. That's a bronze medal in B. All right.